In the quaint town of Eldridge, time seemed to stand still. Nestled between rolling hills and whispering pines, the town was a place where everyone knew each other, and secrets lingered like shadows in the corners of old houses. Among the cobblestone streets and charming cottages, one building stood out, a small, unassuming clock shop owned by the enigmatic clockmaker, Mr. Alastair Pendleton. Mr. Pendleton was a man of few words, his silver hair always neatly combed, and his spectacles perched on the bridge of his nose. The townsfolk regarded him with a mix of admiration and curiosity. His clocks were renowned for their intricate designs and impeccable craftsmanship, but whispers of a deeper secret surrounded the clockmaker and his shop. It was said that Mr. Pendleton held the key to time itself. Legends floated through Eldridge like autumn leaves, tales of a clock that could alter time, hidden within the depths of his shop. Children dared each other to approach the clockmaker's door, while adults exchanged knowing glances, half believing the tales. But Mr. Pendleton never spoke of such things. One rainy afternoon, a young girl named Clara ventured into the clock shop. Clara had always been fascinated by the intricate gears and tick-tocking sounds that filled the air. She was a dreamer, her imagination often taking her to faraway places. As she entered the shop, the soothing chime of a bell greeted her, and the warm smell of polished wood enveloped her. "Hello, Mr. Pendleton," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "Ah, Clara," he replied, looking up from his workbench. "What brings you here today?" "I wanted to see your clocks," she said, her eyes wide with wonder. Mr. Pendleton smiled softly. "They have stories to tell if you care to listen." Clara wandered through the shop, marveling at the clocks lining the walls. Each one was unique, adorned with beautiful carvings and delicate hands that moved with precision. As she admired a particularly ornate grandfather clock, she noticed a door at the back of the shop, slightly ajar. "Is that where you keep the special clocks?" Clara asked, pointing toward the door. Mr. Pendleton's expression shifted. "Some things are best left untouched, my dear." But Clara's curiosity was piqued. She felt an irresistible pull toward the door, as if it were whispering secrets meant only for her. "Can I see?" she asked, her eyes sparkling with anticipation. Mr. Pendleton hesitated, but then nodded. "Very well, but remember, curiosity can lead to unexpected places." As Clara stepped through the door, she found herself in a dimly lit room filled with clocks of every shape and size. The air was thick with the scent of aged wood and oil. In the center of the room stood a magnificent clock, unlike anything she had ever seen. It was tall and grand, adorned with celestial motifs and intricate engravings. "What is this clock?" Clara breathed, stepping closer. "That, my dear, is the timekeeper," Mr. Pendleton said, his voice low. "It is said to have the power to manipulate time, but it is not to be taken lightly." Clara's heart raced. "Can it really change time?" "In skilled hands, perhaps," he replied, his eyes distant. "But such power comes with great responsibility." Intrigued, Clara began to ask questions. "How does it work? What happens if someone uses it?" Mr. Pendleton sighed, his gaze drifting to the clock. "Time is a delicate fabric, woven with moments. To alter it is to risk unraveling reality itself. The timekeeper holds the potential for great good or great harm." Clara felt a mixture of fear and excitement. "Can I learn to use it?" "I cannot teach you," he said firmly. "But your heart is pure, Clara. Perhaps one day you will understand the weight of time." Days turned into weeks, and Clara found herself visiting Mr. Pendleton more often. Each visit deepened her fascination with the timekeeper and the mysteries of time. She listened intently as he shared stories of time's intricacies and the importance of cherishing each moment. But the allure of the timekeeper lingered in her mind. She dreamed of using its power to fix past mistakes or to glimpse into the future. The more she learned, the more she yearned to unlock its secrets. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow across the shop, Clara made a decision. She would find a way to understand the timekeeper's magic, no matter the cost. Clara's determination caught the attention of her best friend, Oliver. A boy with a wild imagination and a knack for adventure, Oliver had always been intrigued by the town's legends. When Clara shared her fascination with the timekeeper, he was immediately captivated. "Let's figure it out together," Oliver exclaimed, his eyes shining with excitement. "We can research the legends and see if there's a way to unlock its secrets." Clara hesitated, knowing the risks involved. "But what if we're not ready?" What if we change something we can't fix? We'll be careful, Oliver assured her. And besides, we're in this together. The following days were filled with frantic research. Clara and Oliver scoured the town's library, poring over ancient texts and dusty tomes. They discovered stories of others who had attempted to manipulate time, some ending in disaster, while others found wisdom and enlightenment. Through their readings, they learned about the delicate balance of time and the consequences of altering it. Clara's excitement began to wane as she read about the dangers, but Oliver remained steadfast. "We'll be different," he insisted. "We'll use it for good." One night, they stumbled upon a passage that spoke of a key that could unlock the timekeeper's true potential. "We need to find this key," Oliver declared, his voice filled with determination. The next day, armed with their newfound knowledge, Clara and Oliver set out on a quest to find the key. Their first destination was the town's oldest library, rumored to hold secrets of its own. As they searched through the dusty shelves, Clara felt a sense of urgency. "What if the key is hidden in plain sight?" she mused. Oliver nodded, his brow furrowed in concentration. "Let's look for anything related to time or clocks." Their search led them to a forgotten section of the library, filled with ancient scrolls and manuscripts. As Clara unrolled one of the scrolls, she discovered a drawing of a clock with a peculiar inscription: "Only the pure of heart shall find the key to time." "What does that mean?" Clara asked. "It means we have to prove ourselves," Oliver replied. "We need to show that we are worthy of unlocking the timekeeper's secrets." Determined to prove their worth, Clara and Oliver embarked on a series of challenges that tested their character. They helped elderly neighbors with chores, volunteered at the community garden, and even organized a charity bake sale to raise money for those in need. With each act of kindness, Clara felt a growing sense of purpose, but the challenges were not without their difficulties. They faced setbacks and moments of doubt, questioning whether they would ever find the key. One evening, as they sat on a park bench, Clara sighed, "What if we're not meant to find it? What if we're chasing a dream?" Oliver looked at her, his expression serious. "If we give up now, we'll never know what could have been. We owe it to ourselves to see this through." Just when Clara began to lose hope, a chance encounter changed everything. While volunteering at the community center, she met an elderly woman named Mrs. Hawthorne. With twinkling eyes and a warm smile, Mrs. Hawthorne shared stories of her youth filled with adventure and magic. "Time is a gift, my dear," she said, her voice soft. "It should be cherished and used wisely." Clara felt a connection to the woman, as if she held the key to something deeper. "Do you believe in the legends of the timekeeper?" Clara asked cautiously. Mrs. Hawthorne's eyes sparkled with mischief. "Ah, the timekeeper. Many seek its power, but few understand its weight. The key, my dear, is not a physical object, but a state of mind." "What do you mean?" Clara asked, intrigued. "The key to time lies within your choices and intentions. When you act with kindness and integrity, you unlock the true essence of time." Clara pondered Mrs. Hawthorne's words long after their conversation ended. She realized that the key they sought might not be a tangible object, but rather a deeper understanding of their own hearts. With renewed determination, Clara and Oliver resumed their quest, focusing on being the best versions of themselves. They continued their acts of kindness, spreading joy and compassion throughout Eldridge. As they did, Clara noticed a change within herself. She felt more connected to the world around her, more aware of the fleeting moments that made life beautiful. One crisp autumn morning, Clara received a letter inviting her to a town gathering. The mayor announced that a special event would be held to honor the contributions of local heroes, those who had made a difference in the community. Clara felt a sense of pride swell within her. "This is our chance to showcase what we've done," she exclaimed to Oliver. The evening of the gathering arrived, and the townspeople filled the town square, laughter and excitement in the air. Clara and Oliver prepared to share their journey, explaining how their acts of kindness had brought the community together. As they took the stage, Clara's heart raced. She looked out at the crowd, their faces illuminated by lantern light. "We've learned that time is precious," she began, her voice steady, "and that every moment can be an opportunity to make a difference." After their presentation, the mayor approached Clara and Oliver, a proud smile on his face. "You've shown us the true meaning of community. In honor of your efforts, I would like to present you with a small token of appreciation." With that, he handed them a beautifully crafted hourglass, its golden sands shimmering in the light. This hourglass represents the time you have given to others. May it serve as a reminder that time is a gift meant to be shared. Clara felt tears of joy welling in her eyes. She turned to Oliver, who grinned back at her, their hearts swelling with pride. That night, as Clara lay in bed, she reflected on the journey they had taken. The pursuit of the key had led them to discover the true essence of time, the importance of connection, kindness, and living in the moment. In her dreams, the timekeeper appeared before her, its ornate face glowing softly. "You have unlocked the greatest secret of all," it whispered. "Time is not to be controlled but cherished. Use your heart wisely, and you will always find your way." When Clara awoke, she felt an overwhelming sense of peace. She realized that she no longer needed the power of the timekeeper. She had already found the key within herself. As the days turned into weeks and weeks into months, Clara and Oliver continued to inspire their community. They organized events that celebrated kindness and connection, reminding everyone of the beauty in everyday moments. The clock shop remained a place of wonder, and Mr. Pendleton watched as Clara flourished. He smiled to himself, knowing that the true magic of time was unfolding before his eyes. One day, as Clara visited Mr. Pendleton, she noticed the timekeeper gleaming in the dim light of the shop. "What will happen to the clock now?" she asked. "It will remain a guardian of time," Mr. Pendleton replied. "But its true power lies in the hearts of those who understand its secrets." Years passed, and Clara grew into a remarkable young woman, her heart filled with wisdom and compassion. She became a beloved teacher in Eldridge, sharing her knowledge and experiences with the next generation. As she stood before her students, she often spoke of the importance of time and the connections they formed with one another. "Time is the most valuable gift we have," she would say. "Make every moment count." And so the legacy of the timekeeper continued, weaving through the lives of those in Eldridge. The town thrived as a community of kindness, where time was cherished and moments were celebrated. One day, Clara received a letter from Mr. Pendleton, inviting her to the clock shop for a special gathering. Curious, she arrived to find the shop filled with familiar faces. Friends, family, and neighbors she had touched with her kindness. Mr. Pendleton stood before them, a proud smile on his face. "Clara, you have become a true timekeeper in your own right. You have shown us all how to embrace the gift of time." Tears filled Clara's eyes as she looked around at the people she loved. "Thank you for believing in me," she said, her voice trembling with emotion. "But the true magic comes from all of you. Together, we've created a beautiful tapestry of time." As the gathering came to a close, Mr. Pendleton presented Clara with a small, intricately designed clock pendant. "This is a symbol of your journey and the legacy you will carry forward. May it remind you that time is a precious gift, meant to be shared and cherished." Clara held the pendant close to her heart, feeling its warmth. She knew that the lessons she had learned would guide her for a lifetime. As the sun set over Eldridge, casting a golden glow upon the town, Clara looked around at the smiling faces of her community. She understood that the true secret of the timekeeper was not just about manipulating time, but about living fully in each moment. Years later, as Clara sat on her porch, surrounded by her own children, she shared the stories of her youth. She told them about the curious clockmaker, the magical timekeeper, and the lessons that had shaped her life. "Always remember," she said, her voice gentle, "time is a gift. Make the most of it and never forget to cherish the moments you share with others." Her children listened intently, their eyes wide with wonder. Clara knew that the legacy of the timekeeper would live on through them, just as it had in her. The clockmaker's secret had been passed down through generations, a reminder of the beauty that lay within the fabric of time. And so, the journey continued, as the people of Eldridge learned to embrace each moment, weaving their own stories into the tapestry of time. In the small, vibrant town of Willow Creek, nestled between rolling hills and sparkling streams, lived a girl named Mia. With her tousled brown hair and bright green eyes, she was a beacon of curiosity. Every day was an adventure, and every moment held the potential for discovery. Whether she was observing ants marching in a line or pondering why the sky turned pink at sunset, Mia was always asking questions. Her parents often found her in the kitchen, conducting experiments with whatever she could find. One day, she mixed flour and water, hoping to create a dough for cookies, but instead ended up with a sticky mess. Instead of frustration, she giggled at her creation, dubbing it Mia's Monster Dough. Her parents laughed, but they also encouraged her inquisitiveness. often joining her in her playful explorations. One sunny afternoon, while searching for old toys in the attic, Mia discovered an ancient trunk. Dust swirled in the air as she opened it, revealing a collection of forgotten treasures: old photographs, letters, and a peculiar book with a faded cover titled "The Wonders of Everyday Science." Her heart raced with excitement. As she flipped through the pages, she found experiments that promised to reveal the mysteries behind everyday occurrences. Each chapter was filled with colorful illustrations and simple instructions. The book felt alive in her hands, as if it were calling her to unlock its secrets. Mia's eyes lit up when she read about the first experiment involving baking soda and vinegar. "This will be fun!" she exclaimed. She rushed to the kitchen, gathering the ingredients: a small bowl, baking soda, vinegar, and food coloring for a splash of excitement. Following the instructions carefully, Mia poured the baking soda into the bowl and added a few drops of food coloring. With a sense of anticipation, she slowly poured in the vinegar. Suddenly, a fizzy eruption filled the bowl, bubbling and overflowing like a mini volcano. "Wow, look at it go!" she shouted, jumping up and down. The colorful bubbles danced around the kitchen, and Mia was amazed. But her curiosity didn't stop there. She wanted to understand why this reaction occurred. After cleaning up the mess, Mia sat at her kitchen table with a notebook. She wrote down her observations and began to research the science behind her experiment. She learned that baking soda is a base, while vinegar is an acid. When they combine, they produce carbon dioxide gas, which leads to the bubbling effect she had witnessed. Excited by her findings, Mia decided to write a letter to her science teacher, Ms. Thompson, sharing her experiment and the science behind it. She hoped to inspire her classmates to explore science in their own homes. Encouraged by her success, Mia flipped through the book for another experiment. Her eyes landed on a colorful project titled "The Rainbow in a Jar." The instructions seemed simple enough, and she couldn't wait to try it. Gathering sugar, water, food coloring, and several glasses, Mia set to work. She prepared different concentrations of sugar solutions by mixing varying amounts of sugar and water, each dyed with a different color. One by one, she layered the solutions in a single glass, starting with the most concentrated at the bottom. To her delight, the colors formed distinct layers, creating a stunning rainbow. Mia marveled at her creation, realizing that the science of density had allowed her to create something beautiful. She felt a sense of pride as she admired her work. That evening, Mia sat down to explore the concept of density. She learned that denser liquids sink below lighter ones, which explained why her rainbow had held its shape. The realization that science was not just numbers and equations, but also beauty and creativity thrilled her. Mia decided to share her rainbow jar with her friends. She invited them over for a science day the following weekend, eager to show them what she had discovered. As the week progressed, Mia couldn't contain her excitement. She wanted to include one more experiment for Science Day. After browsing through her book, she settled on an experiment involving magnets and paper clips. The day of the event arrived, and Mia's friends gathered in her backyard, buzzing with anticipation. She explained the basics of magnetism, demonstrating how the magnet could attract the paperclip without touching it. The kids gasped in wonder as the paperclip floated toward the magnet. "Why does this happen?" one of her friends asked. Mia smiled, ready to share her knowledge. She explained that magnets have a magnetic field, an invisible force that attracts certain metals. The children were captivated, and they eagerly took turns experimenting with magnets and various objects around the yard. Mia's science day was a resounding success. Her friends were filled with excitement and curiosity, asking questions and wanting to learn more. Inspired by her enthusiasm, they began to conduct their own experiments using materials they found around the house. Mia realized that her discoveries had sparked something special in her friends. She was no longer just a curious girl. She was a young scientist, inspiring others to explore the wonders of science in their everyday lives. Encouraged by the success of Science Day, Mia decided to take her passion further. She approached Ms. Thompson about organizing a community science fair. "We can showcase our experiments and share what we've learned," she proposed. Ms. Thompson was thrilled about the idea and offered her support. Together, they began planning the event, reaching out to families, local businesses, and schools. The community responded enthusiastically, eager to participate and contribute. As the fair approached, Mia and her friends worked tirelessly to prepare their projects. They experimented with everything from homemade volcanoes to simple circuits. Each child brought their unique ideas, and Mia felt a sense of camaraderie as they collaborated and learned from one another. On the day of the fair, the school gymnasium was transformed into a vibrant science exhibition. Tables were set up with colorful displays, and the air buzzed with excitement. Mia's heart raced as she watched families and friends explore the projects. As the fair began, Mia took her place at her booth, ready to share her experiments. She demonstrated the baking soda and vinegar reaction, explaining the science behind it to curious onlookers. Children and adults alike were captivated by the colorful eruptions. "Can we try it?" a little boy asked, eyes wide with excitement. Mia smiled. "Of course, let's do it together." With the help of her friends, she guided the children through the experiment, encouraging them to ask questions and make observations. Laughter and excitement filled the gym as bubbles overflowed from the bowls. As the day progressed, Mia noticed a group of younger children gathered around her booth, amazed by her experiments. One girl, Lily, raised her hand shyly. "Can I be a scientist like you?" she asked. Mia's heart swelled with pride. "Absolutely. Anyone can be a scientist. You just have to be curious and willing to explore." Lily's face lit up with determination. "I want to try more experiments." Mia realized that her journey was not just about her own discoveries. It was about igniting the spark of curiosity in others. This moment solidified her passion for science and teaching. As the fair came to an end, Mia reflected on the day. She saw families bonding over science, children asking questions, and a community coming together to celebrate learning. The experience reaffirmed her belief in the power of curiosity and exploration. Mia knew that science wasn't confined to classrooms or textbooks. It was all around them, in their homes, their gardens, and their everyday lives. She felt a sense of responsibility to continue sharing this knowledge. Inspired by the success of the science fair, Mia decided to start a science club at her school. She envisioned a place where students could gather to experiment, learn, and share their findings. With Ms. Thompson's support, she created an announcement for the first meeting. "Join us for Science Explorers Club. Let's unlock the secrets of everyday science together." The response was overwhelming. Students of all ages signed up, eager to explore the wonders of science. Mia felt a surge of excitement as she planned activities and experiments for the club. On the day of the first meeting, Mia welcomed her classmates, a mix of eager faces and shy smiles. "Welcome to the Science Explorers Club. Today we're going to do our first experiment together." She led the group in a fun activity involving homemade lava lamps. As they combined oil, water, and food coloring in clear bottles, the children watched in awe as bubbles formed and rose to the top. "Why does it work like this?" a boy named Ethan asked, his eyes wide with wonder. Mia explained the science of density and immiscibility. The children listened intently, their curiosity growing with each passing moment. As the weeks went by, the Science Explorers Club flourished. Mia and her friends conducted experiments on various topics, from simple chemical reactions to exploring the principles of flight with paper airplanes. Each session was filled with laughter, learning, and shared discoveries. One day, Mia introduced a project on plant growth. They planted seeds in different conditions, some in sunlight, others in darkness, and some with varying amounts of water. Over the weeks, they observed the changes, documenting their findings in notebooks. Mia's passion for science began to extend beyond the walls of the school. With the support of her club members, she proposed creating a community garden where they could grow plants and conduct experiments on gardening and sustainability. The idea was met with enthusiasm. Together, they secured a small plot of land in a nearby park and began working on the garden. They planted flowers, vegetables, and herbs, learning about the science of growth and ecology. Mia felt a sense of pride watching the garden flourish. It became a space for learning, exploration, and community bonding. Families often visited, and children played while learning about nature. But not everything was easy. Mia faced challenges, from pests invading their garden to the unpredictability of the weather. One stormy night, they lost several plants, and Mia felt disheartened. However, she quickly reminded herself that challenges were part of the learning process. She gathered her club members and they brainstormed solutions together. They researched pest control methods and learned about companion planting to protect their crops. Through perseverance, the garden began to thrive again, and Mia learned valuable lessons about resilience and teamwork. As the school year progressed, Mia and her friends prepared for another science fair. This time, they wanted to showcase the community garden and the experiments they had conducted. They planned to demonstrate the importance of sustainability and the science behind gardening. The fair approached, and excitement filled the air. Mia and her club members set up their booth, displaying vibrant plants and posters explaining their findings. They engaged visitors with hands-on activities like planting seeds and creating compost. On the day of the fair, Mia felt a sense of fulfillment. She watched as families explored their booth, asking questions and learning about the wonders of gardening and sustainability. Lily, the girl from the first fair, approached Mia with her younger brother. "Look, we planted seeds just like you showed us," she exclaimed, holding a small pot with a sprouting plant. Mia beamed with pride. "That's amazing, Lily! You're already a scientist!" The fair was a tremendous success, and Mia realized that she had not only inspired her friends, but also a new generation of curious minds. The community was buzzing with excitement about science, and Mia felt a sense of purpose. As summer approached, Mia reflected on her journey. She had unlocked the secrets of everyday science and shared her passion with others. The garden thrived, and the Science Explorers Club had become a beloved part of the community. Mia knew that this was just the beginning. She dreamed of becoming a scientist, perhaps even a science educator, dedicating her life to inspiring curiosity in others. With each experiment, she had discovered not only the wonders of science, but also the joy of sharing knowledge. Years later, as Mia stood before a classroom of eager students, she remembered the moments that had ignited her passion for science. She had become the teacher she had once admired, sharing the magic of discovery with the next generation. "Science is all around us," she said, smiling at her students. "Every question you ask can lead to a new adventure. Embrace your curiosity." As she looked into the bright faces of her students, Mia knew that the journey of unlocking the secrets of everyday science would continue, and she was excited to be a part of it. Her heart swelled with gratitude for the community that had nurtured her passion, and she felt a deep sense of connection to the curious minds that would follow in her footsteps. Mia's story is a reminder that curiosity can lead to incredible discoveries. By unlocking the secrets of everyday science, she not only transformed her own life, but also inspired others to embrace the wonders of the world around them. Science is not just a subject to be studied. It is a way of seeing the world, a lens through which to explore the mysteries of life. With each question, each experiment, and each shared moment of discovery, Mia's journey continues, echoing the belief that everyone has the potential to be a scientist. And so, the adventure of unlocking the secrets of everyday science goes on, one curious mind at a time.
In the quaint town of Willow Creek, nestled between lush green hills, lived two childhood friends, Mia and Lucas. They spent their days exploring the woods, building forts, and sharing dreams of the future. As they grew older, their bond deepened into a love that felt as natural as the changing seasons. However, their families harbored a long-standing feud. The Montagues and the Capulets had been rivals for generations, and the thought of their children falling in love was met with fierce disapproval. Despite this, Mia and Lucas remained devoted to each other, believing that love could bridge the divide. One summer evening, Mia and Lucas decided to meet at their favorite spot by the river. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the water, they exchanged promises of forever. But the next day, their families discovered their secret meetings and forbade them from seeing each other again. Heartbroken but determined, Mia and Lucas devised a plan. They would run away together and start a new life, free from the constraints of their family's animosity. They packed their belongings, met under the cover of night, and set off toward the distant mountains. As they journeyed, they faced numerous challenges, treacherous paths, wild storms, and moments of doubt. Yet, through every trial, their love fueled their resolve. They supported each other, finding strength in their shared dreams and unwavering belief in one another. However, word of their departure spread through Willow Creek. Their families, desperate to bring them back, sent search parties into the mountains. The tension between the Montagues and the Capulets reached a boiling point, and a confrontation seemed inevitable. One night, as Mia and Lucas huddled together in a cave, they heard the distant shouts of their families. Fear crept in, and doubts began to surface. What if they were torn apart forever? But as they looked into each other's eyes, they remembered the love that brought them this far. Mia, Lucas said, "We can't let them destroy what we have. Love is stronger than any feud." With renewed determination, they decided to return home, ready to face their families and confront the hatred that had kept them apart for so long. They emerged from the mountains, hand in hand, and made their way back to Willow Creek. When they arrived, a tense standoff awaited them. The Montagues and the Capulets stood face to face, anger and fear etched on their faces. But Mia and Lucas stepped forward, their hearts pounding. "Stop!" Mia cried, her voice steady. "We refuse to let this feud dictate our lives. Our love is real, and it can heal the wounds between us." Lucas nodded, his grip on her hand tightening. "We want to show you that love can conquer hate. If you let us, we can all start anew." The silence that followed was heavy, but slowly, the tension began to fade. One by one, the elders of both families began to reconsider, realizing the futility of their long-standing grudge. They saw the courage in Mia and Lucas, and the love that shone in their eyes. Eventually, one brave elder stepped forward, offering a hand to the other side. "Let us put our differences aside for the sake of our children." With that gesture, the walls that had divided them began to crumble. As the Montagues and Capulets embraced, the town of Willow Creek breathed a collective sigh of relief. Mia and Lucas had not only fought for their love but had also sparked a change in their families. From that day forward, the town celebrated their union, proving that love truly conquers all, even the deepest of divides.